Here's my perspective on when you should consider liquidation as a business owner. So you've got the start point, which is the solvency test under the Companies Act, which is simply, does your income exceed your expenses and does your assets exceed your liabilities? But also there's some more practical considerations, like can you pay your debts as they fall due? So, and I'm talking about when they're legally due. So if you got 14-day terms, are you paying it within those terms that you've agreed to? Also, I consider a barometer of it to be the IRD debt. So if you look at your balance sheet and you can see that IRD debt is increasing over time, for me, that's a massive red flag because the IRD is the lender of last resort. I find that business owners tend to pay the Bunnings of the world before they pay the IRD. So if that's increasing, there's a real red flag there. And as a business owner and as a director, you have obligations, you have duties under the Companies Act. And one of those include a duty not to trade the company recklessly. And if you do, you can be personally liable for the debts of the company. And I think this is one where people misunderstand limited liability and they assume because they have a company, they're not going to be personally liable for those debts. But there are some exceptions. And if you breach your duties, liquidators and creditors can hold you liable for trading the company recklessly. The other consideration is personal guarantees. It's all too common for me to be sitting in my boardroom talking to a prospective client and I ask the question, do you have any personal guarantees? Usually the answer is no. And then I go through the list of creditors and I know for a fact there are certain creditors like placemakers and like Bunnings, like your landlord, they routinely ask for personal guarantees in their terms of trade. So if you trade the company recklessly and you increase those debts over time, what the directors are actually doing is increasing their personal exposure to the company as well as increasing debts to creditors. So if you see these signs, it is my recommendation that you go seek some expertise who can advise you and make a sober assessment of the financial affairs and help you tailor a strategy for the next steps. At Norling Law, we offer a initial consultation where we will go through the issues, we'll go through the options, and you walk away knowing very clearly what options you have available to you.